Hello, I'm Walter the Bearded Hooker. Today we're going to start our sampler stitch Afghan. The color or the yarn I'm using is Big Twist, which is Joann's brand. It's super bright acrylic shine. It does have this nice metallic sheen to it. I'm doing it in, I keep wanting to say jade, but I know that's not it. It is sage green and lavender. I'm going to do the squares in lavender and all the borders in the lavender. I'm going to do the squares in the sage green and all the borders in lavender. I'm going to be working the squares in a 5mm or H hook. The border and the joining will be done in an I or 5.25mm hook. So let's get started. So all of these squares can be sized up. This particular square is, I lost the end of the yarn. So this square is a multiple of 8 plus 2. So if you wanted to do, so this particular square is, we're going to start with a chain of 26. So in that case, it's a multiple of, so 3 times 4 is 24 plus 2 is 26. So this will give us about a 7-inch square. And if you wanted to make it bigger, if you wanted to do a cushion, if you wanted to make a scarf, you certainly would be able to do that. You just have to ensure that it's a multiple of 8 and then plus 2 chains. So, and that is only for the initial chain. So we want to make your slip stitch. And I have the piece of tape here, so I have a visual to keep my hands in place because I've noticed that sometimes I wander off screen. 1. And there's 26. And then for row 1, we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Chain 1. Skip the next single crochet in the next one. Chain 3. Skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Single crochet in the next chain. And then we're just going to repeat that portion across. So chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet, and then we have 2 chains left. This is our slip knot, so we're going to chain 1, skip a single crochet, and then single crochet, skip the chain, single crochet in the last chain, and that's row 1. And you have something that looks like this. 4, 5, 6. So row 2 is chain 3, turn, and this does count as your first crochet, or your first double crochet. Double crochet in first chain space, chain 1 space. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, so 1, 2, 3, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, three double crochets in the next chain 3 space, which is here, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and then it's a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and a double crochet in the first single crochet, but this was your turning chain. So, and that's what it looks like through row 2. And this is your right side, so you just want to stick a marker in this side so you remember what side is your right side. Row 3, chain 1, turn, single crochet in the first double crochet. So in this case, the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Chain 1, single crochet in your first chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in your next chain 3 space, and we're going to repeat that across. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to single crochet here. 1, 2, 3, single crochet here. 1, 2, 3, single crochet here. 1, 2, 3, single crochet here. Chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the top of this double crochet, and then a single crochet in the top of that chain 3 turn, that first stitch we did. And that's through row 3. Of course, I should pick a different color paper, I think. Green on green, but I think you can see it. So you're starting to get this like lattice look, and this is our trellis. This is called the trellis square. So row 4 is chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to single crochet in the first single crochet, chain 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets in the first chain 3 space. Then we're going to chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, 3 double crochets in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and then we're going to single crochet in the last single crochet. And that's through 4. You can see we're starting to alternate the 3 double crochet groups. Row 5, we chain 4. Chain 4, turn, single crochet in the first single crochet, which is here. Wrong. I didn't think that sounded right, but I can't. I read the wrong row. So it's chain 4, single crochet in your first chain 3 loop, which is here. Then it's chain 3 and single crochet in every chain 3 loop across. So single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, chain 1, and then we're going to double crochet in the last single crochet, which is here. And that's through row 5. So the square is about 6 inches without the border. So when we do our repeats, we want to make, because it's going to be square, we're going to stop at, so when it's 6 inches tall, that'll be our square. You could, if you wanted to do rectangles, you couldn't, do your square 6 by 8, and then you wouldn't have to do as many rows to have the length that you want because you're making each square longer. The amazing thing about doing a stitch sampler like this is that it's completely customizable to what you're looking to do. You could do it also kind of looks like Lego blocks. So some are really long, some are really short. Like this could be your entire block, and then your next square could be 3 times that size, and you could kind of put it together so it looks kind of patchwork with different stitches. For me, I'm going to do all the squares 6 by 6. But certainly, you could do your creative, artistic license and adjust the pattern as you see fit. So for row 6, we're going to do chain 3, turn, we're going to double crochet in the first chain space, which is here. We're going to chain 3, we're going to single crochet in the first chain 3 space, chain 3, and now we're going to do 3 double crochets in this chain 3 space. Chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochets, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and double crochet in the last double crochet. Or in this case, because it was the chain 4, so you want to double crochet in the 3rd chain of the turning chain. So that's here. And so that is essentially the pattern. And then you repeat rows 3 through 6 until you get the desired height that you're looking for. So I know that this is, because these are 1-inch squares, so this is just a little bigger than 2 inches. So I'll probably have to repeat this at least, I know definitely at least one more time, maybe twice, to get the 6x6. So what I'm going to do is I'll go through the repeat rows through 3 through 6 one more time. And then after that, I will pause the video, finish the square, and I'll come back and show you the border. So for our next repeat is so we're starting the repeat on row 3, so it's chain 1, turn, single crochet in your first double crochet, chain 1, single crochet in the first chain 3 loop, chain 3, and then we're just going to single crochet in every chain 3 loop. So chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 1, we're skipping this double crochet, and we're going to single crochet in the top of the chain, which is here. Chain 1 and turn, single crochet in the first single crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet in the first chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, 3 double crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, 3 double crochet in the next chain 3 loop. Chain 3, and we're going to single crochet in our last stitch, which is a single crochet. And that completes row 4. And this is again our second repeat, and then when we measure it, I'm up to 3 inches. So I'm halfway done with the block. Row 5, chain 4, turn, single crochet in your first chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 3 loop, single crochet in the next loop, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then for the last, we're going to chain 1 and double crochet into the top of the turning chain. And for row 6, chain 3, turn, and we're going to double crochet in the first chain 1 space, which is here. We're going to chain 3, single crochet in this chain 3 loop, chain 3, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets into the next chain loop, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet into the 3 double crochets into the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 loop, chain 3, double crochet in the chain 1 space, and double crochet into the 3rd chain 1, 2, 3, which is right here, of the turning chain. And that is through row 6. So that's 2 repeats, the initial 1 through 6, and then the 3 through 6, and we are at 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. So I just need to do 3 through 6 one more time, and I will be at the 6 inches. So at this point, I am going to pause the video. I'm going to do that last repeat. When I come back, we will start the border. And so I've done that last repeat. I have cut my yarn, and I'm going to sew in the end. I'm just getting the needle. For weaving in ends, I do prefer to use one of the needles with the bend on that end. There we go. I find it's easier to get in between the stitches to do the weaving in of the ends. Because you're able to kind of use the angle here to get in between the stitches and slide your yarn through. And I like to go back and forth to make sure it's a nice strong weaving in. You don't want all your hard work to come unraveled. I know some folks will also, once you finish weaving it in, put a dot of super glue to hold your piece in place. I don't do that most of the time. Sometimes I do it, but not on this. So when we look at it, we can see like this side is like a little wonky, which is fine because you can stretch it out. And that's the other thing, is that when I block this, it's going to go from the 6 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So this is 6 inches. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to stretch it to be 7 inches square. And once you block it, see how much, so that's unblocked, and then when I block it, it really opens up the pattern and you can really see the trellis pieces of it. And I'll do blocking in a separate video because I have to get out the blocking mats, and because this is acrylic, you have to steam block it as opposed to wet finishing, which you would do with wool or cotton. So again, I am using the neck size hook up, so I did an H. I'm going with an I to do the border. I just find that when you're doing squares, because they're going to be all different chain sizes to begin with, at the end, in theory, everything should be 7 inches square after they're blocked, but that's not always the case. And by going up a bigger size, it's not going to create a tight or smaller seam, and by using the same size hook, that could potentially be a problem. So for the edging, I always start in a corner. This is my right side because I had put my stitch marker here, which is on the right side. So here's my right side. This is the corner here. You want to leave a tail for weaving in, pull your yarn through the corner, do a slip stitch, chain 1, and then you want to do 3 single crochets here in the corner. And I am going to crochet over the tail a little, and then I'll also sew it in after. The other thing I do typically is I weave in ends as I go. I don't think there's anything worse than putting together a blanket and then having all those ends to weave in. But again, that's personal preference. So whatever works best for you. And so that's there. So three again in the corner. And then this is the next corner here. And in between this corner and this corner, we have to work 25 stitches, evenly spaced. So if we look at this, so I know this is my next corner is down here. So when we look at this, I have this. If we say this is half, so this will be number 13. So I know I need to do 12 stitches here. 12, this will be 13. And then if I do another 12 stitches, that's 25. So when you're looking about how to evenly space stitches across a piece, that's how I kind of conceptualize it, is by looking at it and kind of dividing it out. So if I know that this is the center line here, and this needs to be stitch 13, and I know that here I need to do 12 stitches. If I look at it here, and then I go, okay, so I need to get 6 stitches between this spot and 6 stitches here. So that way you can kind of visualize how to space that out without a lot of trial and error. And that just comes from, lots of practice. So I know in that first quarter I need to get 6 stitches. And it's 6 single crochets. And you're just working around the posts of the double crochets and the single crochets that are there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 'This yarn keeps splitting on me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and this is the where I wanted 13 to be, because that's halfway. And then I know I need to get 12 stitches between here and here. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one goes in this single crochet here. is 12. And then this is our corner here where we do 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So that's our first side done, right? And again, I know it's not straight, but when we block it, that'll be straightened out. And then we also know, so this is the bottom where our initial chain was, and that we had chain 26. So if we take 26 and minus 2, right, because we have 1 stitch for this corner, so that brings me down to 25, and we have 1 stitch for this corner, that brings me down to 24. So I want to do 1 single crochet and every stitch across, and then in the middle-ish, I'm going to do 1 stitch that has 2. And that'll be my 25 for this. So it's 3 single crochets in every corner, and it's 25 across every side. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to, when I come to the chain loops like this, so I have 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did 3 over those 3 chain loops. I like the way that looks better. And then here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And this is about the middle, so I'm going to throw that extra stitch in. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Looks like I miscounted someplace, because this is our corner and I'm at 23 and it should be at 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm at 24. I can't count, obviously, in crochet. So I'm not going to pull this out and figure out where it is. I'm just going to throw the last stitch in with this one and call it 25. This is the border. As long as you have 25 and they're evenly spaced, it'll work out. So here, we don't need that stitch marker anymore. So let me pull that off. This is our corner, so we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, we're just going to mirror what we did on the first side, on this side. We're going around the posts, and I know that here's my middle mark, so I want to be 13 here, and I need to get 12 here. I do this, and this looks like I should have about 6 right through here. And I'm going to crochet over this end. Three, 4, oops, I missed a spot, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and this is where I want 13 to be. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. That's the second side. And again, I know it doesn't look, it keeps curling up, but once we block it and stretch it out, that will be all straightened and look good. So in this corner here, let me zoom back in. So here it's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then if we just kind of do the math across the top, we will just go across here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we count just the chain 3 spaces, that's 24, and then we will do a 1 stitch here in the middle. So we're going to skip all of these 2 single crochets and just do 3 single crochets in each of the 3 chain loops, and that'll give us our 25. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then 3 in the next chain loop. This is the middle. We're going to do 1 here to make 25. 3 in the chain 3 loop. And we're going to do 3 here, and then 1 single crochet in the top of each double crochet. And then here. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet of the corner, and that's row 1 of the, see, as I kind of stretch it out, it's kind of holding its shape. Let me adjust the camera angle. Once we block it, it will be a square and not what it's doing now. I don't even know what shape that is. So for row 2 of the border, we're going to chain 1, which does not count as a stitch, single crochet in the same chain space, single crochet in the same single crochet, excuse me, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets into the center of the corner, and then I like to put a stitch marker into that center because when we're sewing the squares together, it gives us a visual. And then it's just 1 single crochet in each of the next 27 single crochets. And this round is going to go faster for a couple of reasons. One, you're single crocheting into single crochets, but the other thing is that this is a bigger hook, and there was a bit of a, I don't want to say struggle, but you know, it could be a little more difficult in getting the hook through some of the smaller spaces. But again, at the end, it'll be worth it when we're sewing the squares together. I keep saying sewing them together, I crochet them together, I do slip stitches. I don't do a whip stitch with the needle. And that's 27. And this is the center square, so or the center of the corner, so we're going to do 3 single crochets. And again, in that middle one, I am going to put a stitch marker. And then single crochet across. And then you're going to do that for this side, for the remaining 3 sides. And when I get back to the beginning, I'll be back. When you get to the end, remember that you're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet and not the chain 1. The chain 1 did not count as a stitch, so it's slip stitch. Snip off your tail. Weave in your end, and our first square of our sampler stitch Afghan is done. All that's left to do is the blocking, which that will be the next video, is how to block this. So you're able to see what this square looks like. Again, I just like when I weave in ends to go over itself to help kind of lock the end into place. Snip off the extra. And that's our first square. I promise that it will lay flat, and the edges will be straight when we block it. I guess if I leave it zoomed in, it does look like it's blocked. So again, this is our first square. I'm not sure how many we're gonna do. I haven't decided. It depends on how big I want to make the blanket. But again, I'm using Big Twist Shine, which has this nice shine. It's super soft, feels great. I will, as I make each additional square, I'll put them in a playlist so they're all together. So at the end, we'll be able to see what the finished product looks like. And again, the next video will be a blocking video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. If you have ideas for videos or if there's something you would like to see, please let me know. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you, and remember, keep on hooking. Take care, everyone.